In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 common mistakes every new piano player makes. Hey, my name's Jazer. I've been teaching the piano for more than 10 years, and my intention today is to share these common problems with you piano beginners, so that after watching this, you can recognize and correct these mistakes so that you improve faster. Mistake number 1 is ignoring rhythm and timing. I'm going to play 2 excerpts for you. Which one sounds better? Excerpt 1. Excerpt 2 is like this. The difference between number 1 and 2 was that number 2, I was following to a pulse. I was following to a steady pulse so that you as the listener could follow along to my music. Number 1 was all over the place. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow. One of the big problems I see beginners have when they come to me is that when they're learning the piano, they are so focused on reading the notes and trying to play the right notes that the timing and the rhythm tends to be sort of bookmarked right at the back of the brain. And I totally get it. It's very difficult to play the right notes and also keep in time. Now, one thing about music is if you want to play good music, you have to keep in time. No one can change this. So try to have some patience with yourself. Whenever we learn a piece, we want to get the notes right first. Yes, good. But also, you want to prioritize being able to play in time too. To work on your rhythm or timing, you can try some clapping exercises. So for example, over here, so I've put my metronome at 60 BPM. For example, what you see on the screen here. Let's say I'm going to clap this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the idea in music is that there is a pulse and you want to fit into that pulse. Not everyone loves the metronome, but I really believe it has its place. Please try to practice with it. I have 2 types of metronomes. I have this one where I can hear it. I also have another Soundbrenner metronome watch where I feel it on my skin. Check out the link below for a discount code. This has been a game changer for me and my students. Mistake number 2 is neglecting proper fingerings. Ideally, when you're scanning Google to search for sheet music to play, try to find one with some fingering markings on it. One of the problems I see piano beginners have is not knowing which fingers to use for which notes to maximize the flow and the fluency of your hands. For example, in Minuet in G, let's say someone who doesn't follow the fingerings might play something like this. Whereas a much better fingering to use is actually something like this. And here it recommends 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. By doing 3, 2, 1, it allowed me more fingers to play upstairs. Rather than this wrong one. See, I ran out of fingers there. When I started learning the piano, I actually hated following fingering numbers. I actually felt like it was such a hindrance to learning the notes. I really regret this now because I feel like as I aged and matured in my piano journey, following all these fingering numbers actually helped me to learn new ways and smarter ways of using my hands. And learning this technique, for example, allowed me to use this in some other piece. So if you're like me and you find that you just hate following the fingering numbers, once in your practice, just take the hands apart and follow the fingering numbers very, very strictly, just to try to see what it's trying to teach you. Often these fingering numbers are edited and written by professional pianists. There's a reason for why they use certain fingers in certain points. Just try it. Just try to understand what exactly they're trying to teach you. Often you'll find that by following these fingering numbers, you will get a new technique or learn a smarter way to play a certain part. Mistake number 3 is incorrect hand positioning. Now, one of the bread and butter things that all piano teachers bang on about all the time is that when we're playing piano, we want to curve our fingers. And the reason we want to curve our fingers is because this is the most neutral and natural position for the hand. So if you just literally relax your hand, you can see it's actually curved, right? Your fingers don't do this by natural. So some beginners I see often when they start to learn the piano, this is a very new muscular kind of movement thing. So they get very tensed up and they play like this. Important thing, just try to stay really, really relaxed. Try to curve your fingers like this, okay? So in fact, maybe don't even think about it. If you just really relax your hand, whatever position this is, put it on there. Some quick tips I can share today is to curve your fingers, try to have a low wrist, so don't play up here like this. Try to have it really, really low, so this area of your hand should be kind of in line with the keyboard like this. If you're curving your hands, this should very naturally be in line. And the pinky should never ever come up. Lots of beginners when they're playing, I find that when they play certain notes, especially with their 1, 2, 3, the pinky kind of flies up. This indicates that there isn't so much finger independence at the moment. Try to really keep your pinky down. One advice I can give you to try to keep your pinky down is to just simply hold the pinky down and play something else. So let's say you're in the C position, this one. Hold this pinky down and play the other notes. Can be a great exercise just to work on the finger independence of everything else. Mistake 4 is skipping the basics. I think it's very interesting to learn the piano in the 21st century. And this is because I think we're living in a culture where we want things really, really quickly. It's all about fast and speed and getting things in 6 months rather than 6 years. I often get students that kind of come to me and they've been playing for 2 months and they want to play the most complex and difficult pieces. This is where I just kind of have to hold them back for a second. We should prioritize the basics first. Lots of things to work on. We need to work on things like chords, like scales, learning some music theory such as key signatures, time signatures. My advice for beginners is to really take the basics seriously because you want to build the right knowledge and foundations for the future years coming. Even though it's a little bit gruesome and like lots of hard work in the short term, you're just really saving yourself a lot of trouble in the future. Maybe you need to get some resources such as like a method book. Alfred's do great method books, Bastian do great method books, Faber also has great method books. Just go through the pieces. Maybe it's 1 piece a day or a couple pieces per week. Go through these books and really make sure you understand everything. How to read sheet music, how to read chords, how to play scales, what are arpeggios. One of my eternal struggles as a piano teacher is how to balance the piano students' passion. Like they want to play something hard, right? So you want to focus on that, but you also kind of want to focus on the fundamentals too. You can't just jump into something that's super hard because it's going to take ages. When you don't have the skill set or the language or the capacity to understand something harder, learning that piece is going to take something like 6 or 7 months. Whereas if we focused on the basics first, one day when you go to this more complicated piece, it's not going to take you 6, 7 months. It's going to take you a couple of weeks. And if you have the basics, you won't only be able to play just this one complicated pieces. You can play 10, you can play 20 complicated pieces, but you need the basics first. Mistake number 5 is not extending your repertoire range. One of the common mistakes I see is students, they pick, let's say 2 or 3 songs. You know, they pick 2 or 3 songs that they really love, they practice it really, really hard, and they're comfortable with it. And this is where it gets really dangerous. When people are comfortable with playing things that sound nice and they know well, they stay in their comfort zone. They get too comfortable in their comfort zone and they don't venture out to play other pieces too. What I find is this bunch of people often play that 2 or 3 songs, over and over again. And within, 6, 7 months, it starts to get a bit boring. How long can you stay interested in one piece or one song? So my advice to you piano beginners is extend your range. Like try to learn new pieces every month. 12 months in a year, learn 12 pieces. Each piece will teach you something new, and each piece actually informs the next piece. Like each thing that you learn makes the next thing a little bit easier to learn. So don't get comfortable with your 2 or 3 songs. Learn more. There we go. Those are our 5 common mistakes I see every new piano beginner makes. Ignoring rhythm and timing, neglecting proper fingerings, incorrect hand positioning, skipping the basics, and not extending your repertoire range. Piano beginners out there, share in the comments what are your biggest questions. What frustrations and roadblocks are you experiencing right now? I'd love to learn. Check out my course, Hand Coordination Bootcamp, if you're someone that's starting to learn the piano, but you're having trouble with coordinating your fumbly hands. We're a channel with loads and loads of piano tips and tutorials. Make sure you subscribe. Catch you in the next piano tutorial.